Well, you know, the state games are back, and that's always a cool way to beat the heat.
You bet. Our own Anya Winslow is live at the games this morning. And Anya, good morning. What brings you out there this morning?
Inline hockey brings us out here this morning. It's one of 34 sports that's actually being featured by the state games this year, and they're taking place over this weekend and next. That's actually new. And joining me this morning is Doug Martin. He's the director of the state games, who's going to tell us a little bit more about what's going on. Good morning, Doug.
Good morning.
Doug, just in case people don't know what the state games are, what are they and who can compete?
Sure. The Rocky Mountain State Games, it's modeled after the Olympic Games. It's open to Colorado residents, all ages and skill levels, and it includes Paralympic athletes, disabled athletes. We have some blind and visually impaired athletes this year. Really the wide spectrum of residents in Colorado. And
we were actually able to catch some of the younger teens and kids in action yesterday playing some basketball and tennis. This event, these state games, bring in over 400,000 people nationally, annually. Here in Colorado Springs, it's 7,000. What's the draw?
I think the draw is really competition. People love to compete competitively, I guess, against their fellow athletes from across the state. They come out and see how they stack up against their friends, their family, their colleagues. Maybe it's the 5K, maybe it's a triathlon, but who can do the best time? Who's the best athlete? Come out and compete and see how you measure up against everybody else.
Okay, you mentioned all age groups. Who's the youngest? What's the age of the youngest competitor and the oldest competitor?
Sure.
What are they doing?
Sure, I think that's a good story every year. Our youngest competitor this year is in 3D archery, and he's competing for the very first time from Colorado Springs. And then at the other end of the spectrum, we have an 82-year-old man from Colorado Springs competing in track and field, and he's doing the 50-meter dash and the 100-meter dash.
Well, maybe next time we'll actually get to what 3D archery is, but
right.
I think that's all we have time for.
Next time, come on out.
Well, I think that's all we have time for right now. So it goes to show you you're never too old or too young to compete. Andy, Carolyn, back over to you.
All right, thanks so much, Anya. And the events are taking place at different locations throughout the city of Colorado Springs, both this weekend and next weekend.
Attendance to the sporting events are free, and you can find a full schedule of events on our website, KOAA.com. Just click on the news button.